Okay. Good morning. Smash the like button. That's right, Gerald. Gerald. Morning. Yep. So, yeah, we are, like you said there, waka. We are rejecting this 11-3 early morning. You guys can see it right here. So we're going to talk about this level momentarily, but you can see we're starting to come right back into this support here, right? So this is going to be interesting. We got support. Look at this pretty slow move into resistance. Does it do this? Or do we get the break? Right? That's the main watch today, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, good morning, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to another day. Welcome to Friday. Chef, that is my new car. I got a Tesla Model Y. I'm part of the Tesla fam now. It's pretty awesome. It's fast. So, let's get started. I have a very long beard today because I've been green every day this week. So it's the weak beard. It's the green. It's like the hockey, the playoff beard. That's what I got going. I'll shave it today if I turn red on, if I have a red day today. But either way, I have to shave it at the end of the week. But I've been keeping it. I haven't shaved it, trimmed it this week because I've been green every day. So we got to continue to grow the beard out. So, good morning. F1 this weekend is going to be fun. Let's go ahead and get started. So, you guys saw yesterday just downside all day. Not really that surprising. If you saw my pre-market plan yesterday, if you're in the free Discord or in the Options Insider community, basically just said that there's absolutely no reason to be bullish. That's really what I said. I said I'll keep this short. Don't see much reason to be bullish. Yesterday was always going to move lower, in my opinion. It was just the day after FOMC, a really ugly pre-market, and just a continuation move to the downside. So today, you're seeing a little bit of a move higher, but I got to tell you guys, this move higher does not look like anything I would trust, at least not right now. It's definitely starting to reject even more as we speak here at 11.3. So let's go ahead and take a look at these levels on the futures, prepare ourselves some individual stocks, and try to wrap this week up strong. That's really the goal, right? So futures, economic earnings data, or calendar today. The only thing that I'm definitely watching out for, guys, is at 8:45 this morning. So in about 42 minutes, you are getting Jerome Powell. He will be speaking. I'm not sure exactly what he will be speaking at here. It says he's delivering welcoming remarks. Really, all I can tell you is that watch out for any type of reaction on the market at 8:45. Let's see what happens when he gets on. I'm really not too confident, or I can't really tell you where I think this market or how the reaction will be. My assumption is he's just going to reiterate things that he's already talked about, so I can't imagine it being much of a change here, but whenever Jerome Powell is speaking, the market always gets a little bit cautious. So 8:45 this morning, watch out for that. That's really all that I see that's important today on the economic calendar. You do have industrial production index. That could be interesting. You can see it right here. So production index gives you an idea of the production from industries. That's sort of a supply side importance. It's probably important to see the supply side that's going on. So we'll see what happens here at 9:15, but the big one is this Fed Chair Jerome Powell delivers welcoming remarks. Let's see what happens at 8:45. So that's about it for the economic earnings side. Nothing on the earnings calendar. I think you had a Adobe report yesterday. What did they do? Anything happen there? Nothing really happened here, guys. I mean, it basically flat, down, up, down a little bit. Probably didn't beat the expected move. Pretty much a non-event there. So Tesla near 2022 lows. So I'm watching this May low, 2022 low on Tesla. It's around 620, 618. So going to watch out for that level today. Apple is under that 132.50 level we talked about. We have to see if it retests and fails today. Amazon holding strong at this 110 level, 111. This is that 2018, 2019, 2020 high. It continues to hold this level. Interesting. Baba had some news this morning about their Ant IPO, so it did move higher. Baba is pushing right into that really important 111 level, so we got to watch out for 111 on Baba today. Shopify continues to hold 300. This is the big C lows, so it just continues to sort of grind at this 300 level. Let's keep a watch on that one. AMD yesterday got pretty hit. Got hit pretty bad yesterday. AMD underperformance definitely from across the market. If AMD comes back higher today, there is a rejection point to watch out for. So AMD underperformance, keep an eye on that. Boeing has had some nice news this week on some deliveries, but it is approaching a rejection point, so watch out for that. And then finally, NVIDIA 155 continues to hold. This is a 4-hour demand that needs to hold on NVIDIA. I will show you guys that update as well. Then we'll look at your tickers, and we will get out of here. Hopefully get a green day and enjoy the weekend. That is what I am looking forward to more than anything. Sometimes it is nice to get a break. All right, NASDAQ. So what's going on this morning, guys, right? This is very resemblant of a little rejection point. You know what else this is resemblant of? Resemblant of the rejection that we saw on FOMC. If you guys look at this on FOMC, you can see where we rejected, right? Right at 11.7, previous support, turning into resistance, right? Very clean, very obvious. Now, what are we doing this morning? If I go to the 15-minute chart, you can start to see what's going on here. If I zoom in, you guys can see we have a previous support, which is right here, 11.3. Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry guys, let me remind you, market is closed Monday. Market is closed on Monday. Don't forget that. So yeah, this is a long weekend. So 11.3 support, 11.3 support, 11.3 support, and we are pushing into it as we speak. So we pushed into that 11.3, and we're starting to see some rejections there. I would love, this would make for a fantastic Friday. Josh, thank you, man. Good morning and happy Friday. Thank you for showing up every morning. Good luck with quad witching today. Yeah. Good morning, good morning, Josh, and thank you so much for that. I very much appreciate it. So support 11.3, you guys can see we are pushing into it, and you're starting to see some struggle here. So it would be a fantastic Friday, in my opinion, if we can push into this level, if we can consolidate here until market open, and then if we can push to the downside. That would set up a beautiful day for trading. Open at supply, reject it at market open, trade it to the downside. That would be awesome. That's all I wish for today. That's my one wish. So we'll see if that happens. That would set up a really nice short opportunity because I would have that confidence that the NASDAQ is at supply and I could take some shorts or some put options, right? If we open above this level, then I get a little bit questionable because I don't really know if I can trust it to hold in the market open. So I have to wait to see that. And if we fall before market open, then you have less margin on your positions, right? Your risk reward is not as great. So ideally, you guys want to see this thing open around 11.3 today. That would be great. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. That is my main watch for today, really. That's really it. I mean, besides that, if you do get upside, you could maybe see a break and retest of 11.3 and then maybe push towards this 11.450 area. That would be my first target for upside. If you do see upside right here, you can see rejection, 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 possible rejection at 450. If you get a break and retest to the upside, that would be something you could watch. And then obviously, guys, the big level is still the FOMC highs at 11.7, right? That's the big level. That's like the level that you need to break over to get any more upside. At least some real upside, in my opinion. 11.7, right there. So 11.7, 11.450, 11.3. 11.3 is the big rejection right now. Okay. ES. Very same exact thing, right, guys? So 4-hour chart, you guys know we rejected off this level on FOMC. Rejection, rejection, right? Previous support into resistance. What are we seeing this morning? We are seeing the same thing as the NQ. So if I zoom in here, you have a little supply zone between 37.10 and 37.30. I think 37.30 is the more important level, but you do have some lows here at 37.10. That is a level to watch. So you guys can see we are slowly moving up. In my opinion, it looks a little bit like a bear flag, and then you are starting to potentially reject here. So watch out for that rejection. You guys can see it slowly moving up. Previous support into a potential resistance. So do we bear flag here? That would be a nice trading opportunity in my opinion. Do we get a push higher? Then if you do get a push higher, you have to watch out for 37.30. And then if you get a break and retest to 37.30, then maybe you can work your way towards those FOMC highs. But we'll have to see what happens at market open. Tesla will go up today. Okay, Ed. Let me know where you bought your magic ball at. I want to buy one too. So you guys can see right here, we're pushing into a rejection point. Previous support into resistance. Watch out for 37.10 to 37.30. That is your supply zone today. If we get through that, maybe there's some upside. That is what I would be watching. The Dow doing the exact same thing. You guys can see right here, you have this supply zone on the Dow. Looks very similar to the ES. 3150 to 3250. About 100-point supply. You can see it as previous support, into resistance, and potentially into resistance again. So watch out for this supply. If you get over it, you might have some upside. If you reject it, right, you got to watch out. If you reject this, you could absolutely watch out. So, or you could absolutely see downside. So 3150 to 3250. Okay, that's the Dow. Russell is a little bit weaker. See, the Russell's not even retesting yet. Because your zone is sort of up here, right? It's around 1680 to 1700. The Russell hasn't even retested this yet. As the NASDAQ, Dow, and ES are all sort of retesting right now. So Russell's a little bit weaker. I would probably expect it to maybe try to retest and then maybe reject here around the 1687, 1690, right in that area. So watch out for that on the Russell. But most important to me, guys, is the NASDAQ and ES levels. So you have, right, 11.3. That's a major level for me this morning. And then you have 37.10, 37.30. These are major supplies. We'll see what happens. If we get upside, look for the break and retests, right? You have to see supply turn into demand before you go long. That's what I would want to look for. Before I can even think about going long today, I need to see demand turn into supply, right? I need to see supply turn into some kind of demand. I need to see it start to hold here, right? Then I'll take a trade. But I need to see this turn into support. I can't just buy it because it's going through supply. I can't just buy it because it's pushing higher through supply. Wait for it to come back. Wait for it to show you that it's going to turn into support. Then maybe you can take your trade. So that's what I'd be looking for today. Pretty defined levels. Makes the day sort of easier to understand, right? I like when I can see these defined levels because it makes the day a little bit easier to understand. Okay? Tesla. So Tesla's interesting right now. Tesla is sitting at a pretty important low here, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. You guys can see we've been on a pretty healthy downtrend last few days, or last few weeks, really. We've just been on this downtrend here. Do we get a hold of the lows at 617, and do we potentially start to see this break? Or are we going to see the breakdown and new 2022 lows? That's really what I am interested in today. So you can see we have this little downtrend, right? You have a little double bottom, right? Does it start to push to the upside? Just because there is a double bottom does not mean that you go long. You do not just go long on a double bottom. If you went long on this double bottom, you lost money, right? So you got to wait for some confirmation here. For me, I would want to see this. This is exactly what I'd want to see to go long. I want to see the break of the downtrend. I want to see the previous pivot resistance, which is right here at 706. You guys see this resistance from FOMC? I would want to see this push higher. I want to see it hold this resistance as support, and then I can go long, right? This feels like a decent entry. This feels like an entry for long. This is not an entry. This is a guess, right? So do not guess to go long off a double bottom. Sure, it might go up, and you might say, damn, I missed it, but you didn't miss anything until you see a confirmation of upside. If you really want to take a clean trade, wait for that confirmation of upside, wait for that downtrend break, wait for the retest, look for this to turn into support around 706, and then take your long. If you want to go short, I would look for this, right? If you want to go short, you look for it to reject the previous lows, and you look for this thing to slide lower. So should be an interesting day on Tesla, and should be an interesting coming weeks on Tesla. I think Tesla will absolutely present us some opportunity here, either direction. So I am excited about that. Either the downside break of 2022 lows, or you start to break out of this little downtrend, you start to get some new highs coming in, and then maybe some confirmation to the upside. But, you know, you gotta wait here. You just can't guess. You cannot guess here. Let's wait for either the break of the lows or a confirmation to the upside on a retest. Either way, Tesla should be a watch. It's interesting here. Apple. So Apple's pretty interesting, guys. Apple lost its 132.50. It lost this level, right? We talked about Apple losing 132.50. You can see that it's lost. It's under that level here, right in this area. You can see it. It broke down yesterday. It's trying to come back to it, but you're starting to see it starting to reject a little bit, right? You can see these lows that were here. You can see these lows, and it's potentially starting to reject this. So if Apple does a break, retest, and rejects, guys, this is not going to be good for the overall market. If Apple cannot get back above 132.50, I think it's going to be tough to see bullishness here. So watch out for Apple, guys. You can see it's under this previous support, pretty tough support too. For it to break down, it's going to take a lot for it to get back above. So watch out for the 132.50, right in this area. Look for it to either reject or break through, but I would definitely be eyeing this today. That is very interesting, so watch out for that on Apple. Amazon. So Amazon's just chilling. Amazon is just chilling. You can see right here, it's just sitting at these lows. One second, guys. Yeah, it's just sitting at these lows. You can see right here, support, support, support. What's Amazon going to do out of this level? I am just sort of monitoring it. That's really all you can do here, right? All you can do right now is to monitor it. You can set alerts. You can put like an alert here. Create alert at or above, right? Or you can create an alert here, down at the lows. Create an alert at or below. So that's really what I would do. You just wait to see, right, which direction does this want to go. It's consolidating, which could be considered bullish, right? It could be considered a bullish type of consolidation. If we get this, that is a great long entry. If we get this, right, I think that is a great short entry. So these are the levels that I'm watching on Amazon, and I think there will be opportunity out of it. But as of right now, guys, you just can't guess in this area, I think. I mean, you might be able to catch some short-term momentum, right, in between the range, of course. That's always a possibility. But for the bigger trade, the more confirmation trade, looking for these levels to break on either side. That's what I'm waiting for. Am I in my Costco puts? No, I took a loss. Costco just does not want to break down, man. We'll talk about Costco later. So consolidation, it's just sort of chilling here, guys. And the reason it's chilling, I'll show it again. I know I show it every live stream, but just in case we have new people here, it's just sitting right at these highs. It's just not wanting to break below it, and it's not wanting to move higher. It's just stuck. It's just absolutely stuck. So I think we got to wait it out. And see which way this goes, but this is a very interesting consolidation. You can see the triple bottom that's trying to hold. This is going to be important. So keep an eye on Amazon. It's probably not a trade right now, but it's at least a watch. Okay, BABA. had some news this morning, guys, about their ant IPO, which I think China is now allowing, or they got, what is it? So the Ant Group applies to set up financial holdings company. China's central bank has accepted Ant Group's financial holding company application, which I thought a few weeks ago they denied it. So I don't know what's going on over there in China. I mean, it's like flip-flopping over there. I'm pretty sure the stock went down. The stock went down on the 9th. Yeah, so on the 9th, it says Alibaba shares are trading lower, suggesting China's central bank, or CSRC, said it's not conducting work on reviving the Ant IPO. So on the 9th, you got news of it not reviving the IPO, and then today you got news of the IPO coming back. So it's just back and forth. I'm really not sure, what to believe that comes out of China, honestly. So you got a nice push to the upside this morning because of that news. You can see right here, big explosion. You're sitting right at this 111 area. So this is going to be an interesting level. You can see in the past, this has been a pretty important level, all in this zone. So you have, support, all this support here, and then you have to see what happens at this level today. So 111, important level. If you want to maybe try to catch upside, yeah, I mean, it's already sort of doing it this morning, isn't it? It's sort of doing it already for you this morning. Look at this. You see this 111? Look at what it's doing. See how it's holding that 111 as support already this morning? That's pretty interesting. So if you want to look for upside, guys, it has to hold this 111. That's, in my opinion, you have to see 111 hold today if you want to see continuation to the upside. Just watch out for this 111. If that holds, you probably can see it. If it breaks back down and starts to reject, then you probably can see the downside move, right? So watch out for 111. I think that is your main level to watch out for on BABA today. Okay, Shopify. Shopify just sitting here at 300. This is the lows. Shopify is down like 85%. And you can see it's just, oops, that's not good. You can see it's just chilling here at 300. So you got that 300 low from the vid, and you can see that it's been chilling here for about, I don't know, maybe a week. Yeah, it's been here for about a week. If I go to let's go to the 1 minute chart, I'll show you the reaction we saw. So you can see yesterday, look at the reactions that you got as you started to approach that 300, right? Right off 300, double bottom off 300. So it continues to want to hold that level. This is a similar stock to Amazon right now. We sort of just have to wait this out. Which way does it want to go off this major level? I'm really pointing this out, guys, because I would be aware of stocks at major levels at least. Make sure you're at least watching them. It doesn't mean there is a trade here yet, but at least be monitoring these plays because this is a very big level for Shopify. You can clearly see it continues to try to hold. Does it try to get its push back into 350? Or do we start to lose 300? That's really what I'll be watching. Either way, I will be watching this because I know there will be a play here eventually off this 300, either to the downside or the upside. So 300, if I zoom out here, you'll see why this level is so important. Here's the weekly chart. And you can see, look at all this level, look at all this at 300. This is on the weekly chart. So you can clearly see the importance of this level here. Big support here back in 2019. Another hold here around 2020. And now you're sitting at that level once again. So if it breaks through here, yes, it can absolutely go lower. If it breaks through here, yes, of course it can. But you have to wait to see if it does. So important level there on Shop. AMD. Ugly day yesterday for AMD, guys. Ugly day. 4-hour chart. AMD made new 2022 lows. New lows of the year for AMD yesterday. So what did we do? Just an absolutely gorgeous rejection at 90. Look how clean that looks. So you can see right there. Actually, I'm going to go to the hourly chart. I'm going to get some more time because you'll be able to see it in a little bit more detail here on the hourly. Here's the hourly. Look how clean that was. Push into on FOMC, right into that 90, into that previous like quadruple bottom, and then boom. Just an absolute selling fest right at that level. So very nice. Big rejection off 90, moving to the downside, breaking that 85 level. What am I looking for today? I am looking for a retest of either 85 or the lows of this week. Hold on. Sorry, guys. TOS is messing with me here. Sometimes TOS doesn't let me zoom in. I'm not sure why. So I am either looking for a retest of 85 or the lows of this week here. If we get this, I would be looking for the same reaction that we saw here. If I could mimic this right here and put it here, that's what I'd be looking for. Let's see if I can do it. It's not going to let. Something like that. This, back into this level, downside. That's what I'd be looking for. So that's what I'll be watching AMD. It's probably not going to happen today. Maybe it does. But I'll be looking at 85, 86, seeing if it starts to reject here, right? And seeing if I can play it back down. That will be my watch on AMD into next week. Okay? Boeing. So Boeing has had some upside this week because of news on their airliners. They've been delivering some 737 Maxes, I believe. Let's see. I don't want to give you bad information, but it's something along those lines. Where did it start to pop? Started to pop back on the 14th. Where is it? Yeah, so you had China Southern Airlines conducting test flight 737 MAX. That was on the 13th. I don't know where it is, guys. It's somewhere in here. But there was news on Boeing. Just take it at that. Delivery news on some of their planes. I'm sure you guys can find it online if you want to get the data or the news. But you got the push because of it, right? So you got the push because of it here to the upside. And now I am watching this rejection point. So if I go to the daily chart, let me zoom out because this is a very big rejection point. So I don't know if you guys remember this level on Boeing, right? We've talked about this level in the past, this 141, 140 area. You can see it's been a triple bottom here. 1, 2, 3. It's already turned into rejection once, right? It's already turned into a rejection once here. Look at where it's sold off from. So this is a very big level even on the daily chart. So if we get the 4-hour time frame and we look at this, I will be looking for the same thing to happen again. Either a rejection at the lows here, right, like today, which it's sort of sliding into this morning, or a rejection at 142. Either way, the chart can't handle it. Either way, this is what I'll be looking for. You see right here? Previous lows. What did it do? What did it do yesterday at the previous lows? Let me go to the 1-minute chart. So if I go to the 1-minute chart and I show you what it did at the previous lows, look at this. You guys see this reaction yesterday? That reaction was right at the previous lows. So watching the 137 level, right? That's your first level to watch. If it breaks through there, then you're watching the 141, 142, or 141.80, 142 highs. So either way, definitely watching Boeing here, guys. Some pretty nice rejection points to keep an eye out for. 137 and 142. Very interesting. Okay. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, I'm just pointing out again to you guys this 4-hour demand. We have seen it hold for quite a long time. So you have NVIDIA, you have Amazon, and you have Shopify, all just chilling over the last week at this at major demand zones. So you can see triple bottom on NVIDIA. Actually, now quadruple. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bottoms here on NVIDIA at the 155 demand. I'll show you what it looked like on the 1-minute chart. Here's the 1-minute chart yesterday on NVIDIA. Look at how it just continued to want to hold up at this level. A lot of buying. Now, I don't want to say a lot of buying, but buying going on at this 155. Something is holding it up, right? It's a big demand level. So you can see it, 155. If the market, I continue to say this because I really do like NVIDIA to the upside. You know, in the long term, I think NVIDIA is a company that will succeed out of this. If the market gets upside in the future, whenever that comes, NVIDIA is definitely one that I'm interested in here. So watching 155, looking for upside off of it, won't just blindly take upside, right? That's not what I'm going to do. But if I start to see some reasons for it, then I would be interested. So maybe a break over this FOMC high around 170 would be my first watch, right around here, 168, 170. And then your next level would be around the 181, 180. So watching these areas, right? Watching this demand right around 155, looking for either the break and retest of 170, or if it wants to do it, the break and retest and turning into supply. Whichever way that wants to go, I'm definitely interested. As I said earlier, guys, there's not so much trades on these levels I'm giving you right now, but there is importance to these levels, and they need to be watched. So definitely watching that on NVIDIA. All right, so next, let's go over the tickers that you guys want to look at. We'll probably get out of here a little early today. It's Friday, why not? If you guys could just take a second and press the like button, that would be fantastic. Let me go ahead and pull this up for us. All right. What do we got? So here's the what do we got? We got a bunch. All right. We got a bunch this morning. Let's get started. Okay. First one we're looking at today is VLO, Valerio Energy Group. So energy has been pulling back. We know that, right? I would wait for that. We at the 20 yet? All right, we're at the 50. So remember we talked about waiting for pullbacks on energy? We've talked about this a lot. We talked about this like all last week, saying wait for the pullback on energy. You do not want to be the person that buys, that is deviated away from the 20 SMA. Now, I didn't expect this much of a pullback. This is bigger than I expected. However, how do you avoid a pullback like this? You wait for the pullback, right? So if you were buying up here when it was deviated from the 20, right? Unfortunately, you probably took a loss. If you waited for the pullback, you should still be waiting, right? There was no entry here over the last 7 days. There's no green days. So there is no long entry here over the last 7 days. So you either avoided a pretty ugly loss. If you didn't get in over the 20, you just avoided a pretty ugly loss on energy here, right? So getting your pullback at this point, if energy keeps pulling back, you could see this 70 level, right? You could see this. It's very possible to see just a little bit of a triple bottom here, back to 70. So that's going to affect VLO, right? This is going to affect all the energy stocks. You see VLO, XOM, CVX, everything's pulling back, right? So XLE is the main thing, guys. If you're watching an energy stock, just watch the XLE. That's the most important. See what it's doing. See if there's any bullishness there, and base your decisions off the XLE. Unity Software. Break and retest bear flag. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's a gap fill rejection there. 4-hour chart. That's beautiful. Yeah, look at that. Right into that. This is a gap level. Let me put it. You don't see it on the 4-hour. Let me pull it up for you. So this is a gap level. You can see the gap down on Unity. You can sort of draw it out here. It's around 45, right? We see where the gap starts. Let's go to the 4-hour. You can see it right here. Now the gap doesn't show because we're on the 4-hour, but you know it's there because of the daily. Look at the rejection. Look at the bear flag. That's an absolutely gorgeous trade. It's probably over, to be honest, unless you want to maybe try to catch a little bit more towards the lows. But this is sort of the entry, right? You had to be in. You had to be in on the 10th, really, on 610. I mean, doing it here, chasing it now is just, you really don't have, the risk to reward is actually flipped now, right? The risk to reward is better to the upside here. Doesn't mean I'm taking upside. Just because the risk to reward is better doesn't mean I'm taking it. But your reward is really just to these lows, really, right? 29.30. George, those questions, man, you just can't answer them. You can't ask those types of questions. And this is something that I really try to preach here on the live stream. And anyone that talks to me about trading, you have to stop asking people questions that can't be answered. You have to get that out of your mind. All right? We just can't answer whether the stock market's going to move based on Jerome Powell's words. Like it's like asking, do you think the world is going to end in the future? Do you think God's going to come down from the heavens and do something? Yeah, it's not an answerable question. So I don't mind people asking questions, but I want people to understand that you have to. It's almost like a mindset, right? Because when you're trading, you think that these questions are answerable, but they're not. So the best mindset you can put yourself into, and I say this as nicely as possible, stop trying to predict the market. React to what's going on. If the market moves because of Jerome Powell, then you know it's moving because of Jerome Powell, right? Right? You know it's happening. Then you trade off of it, right? You trade off of it because you saw the reaction. But trying to guess what happens is it's a bad habit. So it's something I try to, as nicely as possible, get out of people's mentalities, because I know it will help you if you stop thinking like that. So I see it all the time. I'm not pointing you out individually, George. I'm just trying to help. Just try not to think like that, because it's not answerable, right? You just can't answer that question. So anyways, uptrend, bear flag, breakdown. Yeah, I mean, it was a nice setup. Whoever put this in, that's a beautiful setup. Unfortunately, I think it's over. Visa, Costco, 1 hour, right? Costco 1 hour just won't break down. It just won't break down, right? Look at this, 450. It just will not do it. So I tried to play it off this rejection. It's just not giving me the juice. That's really all I could say. I still think the setup looks good, and I know I'm being stubborn here, and I'm not going to play it again because I'm just going to wait for it to happen. But you can clearly see it just will not break this 450, guys. So Costco, it really likes 450. Look at this. So yeah, there's Costco. And it just won't break. It just won't break. So if you wanted to play Costco, you really just need to start seeing unraveling. It really needs to get going before you can even think about trading it, because you're just going to get chopped up there. Okay, Adobe had earnings. It looks like they were bad. So now we can do analysis on Adobe, right? Now that the earnings are over, now we can look at what happened, right? Instead of trying to predict what happens on Adobe earnings, now we can look at what happens. So now we know that it went down, right? We know that it didn't do very well. The stock went down. What do we got? What are the numbers looking like? We got, it beats EPS, sales, so it beat top and bottom. Let's see, did they give any type of guidance? Revenue rot, okay, where's the guidance? Where's the guidance? I don't see the guide. Oh, okay, guidance below analyst estimates. That is why the stock is falling, which is probably why what you're going to see in a lot of stocks. And you're going to see guide downs because of the looming macroeconomic environment. So guide down, that's why the stock is down. We zoom out here. We are trading at 349, which is right around here. So you're sort of just in this channel. That's a tough trade for me. All right, this is a tough trade, because you just don't quite know what it's going to do in this channel now. You see here? They are under this support, so I would say, yeah, I mean, it could sort of slip here. The next major level is 280. Do I think Adobe goes down to 280? That's a little questionable. That's another 25%, maybe. But you guys can see, right? This is why I don't like trading these names, because look, or I don't like trading stocks that look like this. If you see this chart, how do you know where it's going to hold up here? It's just a V. So where's the structure here? I don't know where the structure is in this zone. So you can see we are back in this zone and there's no structure. So it makes it a little difficult to trade. So I maybe just watch for continuation on earnings, really. Meta. This is Facebook. Facebook's just, man, oh man. Like, it just never came back. Do we test these lows? Do we test these lows? These are the next levels in question, right, guys? The next level is in question for a lot of these stocks are the virus lows. So 140 is really the next level that I see here. If I go to the shorter term time frames, let's go to the hourly chart. Let's get some more time. I mean, look at this chart. It just... I haven't traded Facebook or even thought about trading Facebook for a very long time. Here is a very nice rejection. You guys can see that. That's very clean. Look how clean that rejection was. Right? Previous support into resistance. Very clean downside move. It's just so difficult, guys. I don't know where you would even... I mean, everything's just sort of channeling. Where do you trade this? I don't see a trade here, right? I just don't really see a trade here. The only trade I would see is a break of new lows or a rejection of 172 again. Those are the only two plays I could guess, or I could see. I would not try to trade upside here. That's just me personally. I would look for either a rejection of 172 or a break and retest of 160. 140 is the virus lows. You very well could see it. Just a tough chart. Just a tough chart. Target continues to hold this level. You can see right here, we've looked at this every day. Guys, if you could, I'm sure that this is someone asking me to look at the same stock every day. But if the stock hasn't really changed, then, nothing has changed here. We looked at Target the last 3 days. Nothing has changed, right? It's doing the same exact thing. So, same exact thing. Target sitting here for the last whole entire week. Nothing has changed. Nothing new to report. So, we already did Costco. We already did Google. Did we do Google? Google. So, Google is holding this support right here at 2130. You guys can see this. Previous support, into resistance, into support, and it's holding it again. So 2130 is a very important level here, right? You can clearly see that. 2130, very important level. It held it this morning. Next level to watch out for resistance is 2185, and then Tyler, and then 2230. So there's your levels on Google. You have 2185, 2230. You can see it filled that gap and rejected previously, right here. Gap fill rejection. It rejected 2185. So here's your levels to watch. 2130 breakdown would be downside, rejection off 2185, or rejection off 2225. Roku. Yeah, Roku had a little bit of news. I don't trust a damn thing that comes out of Roku. But you did have some news. You can see it's continuously holding here. Yeah, I mean, it's just in a channel, guys. I mean, you could see if it can bounce off these lows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe some movement off these lows. But Roku's just an absolute, it's just a ridiculous stock, really, right now. You get news all over the place, rumors going on all over the place. It's almost like trying to trade Twitter when there's something new that comes out every single day. It's just like best of luck, really. That's all I could say to you. Maybe look for that break of these highs. You can see it got pretty harshly rejected at 85. Maybe you look for that if you're looking for upside. So you're between 85 and 75, about a 10-point range. Zoom's still holding this retest, right? We continue to talk about this retest every single stream. So nothing has changed. It continues to hold this retest. It's still, like, look at the stock, right? It still wouldn't trust it to actually move higher when it looks like that on the weekly chart. When it looks like this on the 4-hour, I wouldn't trust it to actually have a legitimate upside move. It is holding, but I wouldn't put any trust in trying to trade upside on a stock like that. Datadog is sitting right at those lows. I know we talked about this coming to these lows, so see what happens at those lows. Amazon, we went over. CVX, I was actually about to look at CVX. All I could tell you is look for the hold of this previous triple top, or this triple bottom, I mean. 1, 2, 3. Look for the hold of 155. You have to watch energy with that. What is this stock? It almost looks like it's an energy stock. It's got to be an energy stock. Yes, it is. So this is an energy stock. Same thing. You got to watch XLE and these lows. This little triple bottom here. 50. 50 on OVV. Shopify we went over. MicroStrategy. It's Bitcoin. It's holding. Look for that low of 135 to hold. Look for the rejection. Oh yeah, that rejection's coming in pretty good. Look for the rejection of 177. Why do I say that? This previous support turning into resistance, 177. Watch for that to reject. Microsoft. What's Microsoft up to these days? I really haven't looked at this stock much. Yeah, just a really clean rejection of this 250 area. Everything's the same, guys, right? I mean, you should start to realize that as of now. Everything's looking the same. Pushed into the previous support, rejection off of it, right? Everything's doing the exact same thing. Last but not least, we got Oracle and FedEx, last two here. Oracle. An absolute disaster. That's what I would say is Oracle. This is an absolute disaster of a stock right now. Look at these candles. It's just everywhere. When I see this, if I see this, I instantly turn the chart off. So I would do the same. That's just craziness. How do you know where that goes? FedEx, I'm not even going to attempt. FedEx trying to hold this 225, right? Previous resistance, trying to turn into support right there. You can see it right here. Look at FedEx. So you got the big move off the quarterly, increase in the quarterly dividend, right? Big push off that. You pulling back, you're retesting. So can it hold the previous resistance? Can FedEx turn previous resistance into support? That is what I would be watching, guys. That is what I would be watching. Evan, I think I do a little bit of both. The retest is like the break and retest is almost a form of a short-term supply demand, right? Because you're breaking a supply, turning it into demand. And then I'm also watching 9 EMA holds and potential flags. So I think a little bit of both. When I analyze the futures side of things, it's all supply demand. On the future side of things, it's always all supply demand. When I look at the NQ or ES, it's strictly supply demand. When I trade intraday on individual stocks, I'm using retests and EMAs. So the break and retest is a form of a supply demand. It's shorter term. It's previous support, right? This is supply demand, right? So previous supply here turning into potential demand. It's just on a shorter time frame. So yeah. All right, guys. I hope you have a fantastic day. That's all I had for you. You have Jerome Powell, who is probably speaking right now. Is there any? Oh, wow. Oh, man. I'm in an NQ short here, too. As you guys know, I paper trade futures. I do not trade futures with real money, but I do it just to learn. But yeah, I'm up like $2,300 right now. So I took a short on the NQ this morning because of this 11.3. So I was just playing around. I saw the 11.3 and I said, okay, let me try this out, because I want to get my feet wet with futures trading, because I look at futures every day. So I figure why not get my feet wet on some trading. So you can see I took a short here this morning because of the 11.3, right at this rejection point. So support, support, support into 11.3 rejection. This is what we talked about in the beginning of the stream. So I just took a short off that. Right in that 11.280 is where I took my entry. So I'm up 2,700. Nice. Wish it was real money, but I'm getting used to it. This is on Tradeovate. Very, very, very good platform. Tradeovate, and it's a demo account. You can see it up here. Very good platform for paper trading, because it's pretty much the same as the real platform. It's like one in one. There's no difference for when you paper trade it. It's very real, very, everything's up to date. So very good. Very cool. Nice trade this morning on NQ futures there. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Hope you have a fantastic day. Best of luck. It's Friday. Remember, 0 DTE is very dangerous. Do not go crazy on a day like today. Scale down. Scale down. Keep the positions within your in a comfortable range. There's going to be a lot of volatility. There's going to be emotion. 0 DTE moves like crazy, so it's best to scale down. It is never good to end a week on a red note, so try to end that week green. If you get a nice early trade and you're green, walk away. Go enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Monday, the market is closed. I will not be here Monday. I will not be on a live stream. Maybe we'll do something if I feel like it. But have a fantastic weekend, guys. Long weekend. And I will see you guys on Tuesday. Press the like button for me if you could before you head out. Thank you, guys. Peace out.